How will all of these overnight cues impact our own markets? Our research team is now joining in with the trade setup, stocks that are likely to be in the news, and of course, the setup on the F&O side of things as well. First up, Vinny joins in to get all the market cues we need to watch out for today. Vinny, a subdued start is in the offing, but the bulls will be confident that we are close to 25,000.
Hi, Hurma. So good morning. In terms of what we're watching out for from the Indian markets today, positive momentum. Obviously, we are hoping that that continues. Yesterday also we saw an up move coming in. Nifty closed about 25,000 levels. The rise that we saw coming in for the Sensex as well, 455 points higher, ending at 82,176. And Nifty Bank, a bit of an underperformance versus the benchmark indices, but still closing on the positive footing, 174 points uptick that we saw coming in for Nifty Bank. Top sectoral gainers yesterday were auto as well as IT, which were buzzing away in trade. And in terms of what we saw coming in from FII and DIIs, FIIs were buyers as well in yesterday's trading session. 135 crores is the buy coming in on the FI front, and DIIs bought around 1,745 crores. So that buying has continued from both FII as well as DII front. Now, what are we watching out for, or what is the factors that would impact the market today? Earnings reactions will come in for most of these stocks like Aurobindo Pharma, KEC International, Shilpa Medicare, among some of the names. And there are earnings that are expected today like LIC, Hindustan Copper, NMDC among the important ones, which could see a bit of a specific move on the back of its earnings. Investors are also awaiting economic data we'll see coming in this evening in terms of from the Europe as well as the US side, so keep an eye out on that. Nifty implied open as of now is indicating a very muted start coming in for the market. It's flip-flopping slightly between the red and the green, so muted start is what we should watch out for.
Hoping for a muted start indeed. Vinny, thanks a lot for that. There are plenty of stocks to watch out for, earnings reactions, offer for sales, block deals, and Vamakshi will take us through all of that. Vamakshi.
Well, absolutely, Hormas. Today will be dominated by a lot of earnings and a lot of block deals. Let me first start off with Aurobindo Pharma. Revenue saw an uptick of almost 10%. This was more or less in line with what the street was anticipating. The margins have declined to 21.4%. This is below what the street was expecting, and the net profit too is rather flat at 902 odd crores. KEC saw a revenue growth of almost 10% in FY25 as a whole, as compared to its guidance of 12 to 14%. So they've missed the guidance as far as revenue is concerned. Margins came in at 7% for the whole year, which is, at the lower end of their guided band of 7 to 7.5%. And the order book saw an uptick of almost 13%. PTC India is the next counter I'm watching out for. The margins here have contracted to 7 odd percent. The net profit, though, has seen a substantial jump to 343 crores. And this is because the net profit included a one-time gain on divestment of PTC Energy to ONGC Green. Shilpa Medicare is the next counter we're watching out for. Remember, in yesterday's trading session, the stock was surging higher. Margins have declined for the company to 23.2%. The net profit too is seeing a very sharp fall of almost 41%, given that there was an exceptional outflow of almost 28 crores. Schneider, on the other hand, revenue saw good uptick, 24% on a year-on-year basis. In fact, it is the highest growth that we've seen since the third quarter of FY24. The margins are down. The net profit, although has seen a very sharp jump, has come up to 55 crores, and that is because the base quarter has some tax adjusted related expenses. Sagility India is the next counter we're watching out for. Sagility BV is likely to sell up to 15% equity of the company via offer for sale. Keep an eye out on Indigo as well as PG Electroplast. There could be some selling pressure out here as well.
Indeed, we keep an eye out on all of that. Vamakshi, lots of stocks to keep an eye out for today. And lastly, Mangalam joins in with cues from the F&O space, counting down to a monthly expiry. Mangalam, good morning to you. What's the F&O data indicating?
3 days to go. And if you look at the big move that we saw yesterday, Nifty was close to around that 25,000 mark. The Nifty Bank also moved all the way up to closer to 56,000 before it saw a bit of a sell-off. The mid-cap index would tell you that their portfolios are feeling good. Two sectors that did well yesterday. The Nifty IT, maybe because of, the delay in tariffs on Europe. And then we had the Nifty FMCG index, early onset of monsoon, good going for rural economy and good expectations for urban economy as well. The India VIX was higher even as the market was higher, and that told you that there was supply at higher levels as well. So we're entirely not out of the woods. But more importantly, yesterday we had pointed out that maybe the FI volumes would be lower because of the US market being shut, and that's exactly what took place. 136 crore worth purchase, gross volume slightly lower. DIIs actually went ahead and bought about 1750 crores. But the FIs bought a little more in index futures. Yesterday the purchase was 565 crores. They added close to 6,000 long and added 3,000 short contracts. So the net longs actually increased. And that's actually something that has happened for the last 3 trading sessions. You know, the chart comes up for you on the screen and you would see from May 22nd to now, the longs have increased from 32% to 35%. And the net contracts have seen a decline of almost 5,000 contracts. But 25,000, that still remains the fulcrum. 25,000 call and the 25,000 put are most active ahead of expiry, both of them having a premium of roughly 200 rupees each. And that tells you that the option writers for this month's expiry expect a range on the lower end of 24,800 for the Nifty. That's where support comes in. At the higher end, the resistance comes in at 25,200. All of this is determined by the Nifty Bank, which is actually in a broader 1,000-point range. At 55,000, you have the 20-day moving average. And at 56,000, a little over 56,000, you have the all-time high coming in as well. The one stock I'm watching out for is Dixon Tech. It's out of F&O ban, so keep an eye out on that one.
Well, thank you so much for that, Mangalam. But